Hello and welcome to another episode of the WhoTubeShow. And today we're going cross Atlantic for the first time. I'm joined with me today by Kaitlyn or Kate, whichever I prefer apparently. So we'll go with Kate. And she's joining me for one of the first shows that's properly sponsored by eastyoaks.com, which is for those people who like soap operas. It's a good website. I don't know whether Kaitlyn's seen many of the British ones, but yeah, they're a bit of a thing here. People seem to love them for some reason. I don't, but but there you go. But some people do. So thank you to East Oaks for helping out with getting this show going. Really, right. We'll start with a few icebreakers and get to know Kaitlyn. If that's okay. So what these are your favourites. So what's your favourite episode or story? Doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm so bad at picking favorites, but I'm gonna say Thin Ice with Peter Capaldi season 10. I think that's like one of the best episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. Is that the one when they're on the Thames with the ice
the Frost Fair,
Yeah, that I love that episode. I really do. It's quite an underrated one, actually, I think. But yeah.
That tweet that you replied under where I asked like what was the Doctor Who episode, a lot of people actually said Thin Ice, which I was shocked about because I thought it wasn't really well received either, but I guess a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a reason. It was good. So I expect they should like it. What about favourite Doctor?
Capaldi. It's not even a race. Like it's like the rest of them are here, and then Capaldi's like all the way up there.
Yeah, he's a quality actor. He always has been. And yeah, he does it. He does it so well.
Yeah.
So I think he puts his all into the actual job as well. He's such a. I mean, when you look at some who haven't really watched Doctor Who, if you like, I don't think Matt Smith was before being a Doctor. I don't think, I might be wrong, but from what I learned, he wasn't really a Doctor Who fan as such before he started. But Peter Capaldi was, and he came into it. Yeah, I think he copied a lot of the first Doctor, and a lot of so there's a mix of the first and the third Doctor. And you told me before the show you're about to watch the third Doctor, so you'll see what I mean. Yeah. When you watch all that. Okay, favorite companion. Doesn't matter. New York classic.
It's probably going to be between Clara Oswald and Donna Noble. There's just something like they're so different, but they're so similar. If they put the Doctor in his place constantly, and I love that.
Yes, yeah, the Doctor does need that, and I think that's what makes a good companion.
Yeah.
Not a yes person. Someone that challenges him. Says, "Are you sure this is right?"
Yeah, especially when they challenge his humanity. And that's what I really like, especially with Clara. I have a video on it on my page, but like from how I see the 12th Doctor and Clara's interactions is them becoming each other. So Clara's constantly trying to push this humanity into the Doctor, and he's accidentally pushing his anti-humanity into her. I just think it's a really cool dynamic.
Yes, yeah. Okay, what about your favorite logo? Because you would have seen quite a few of those now.
Favorite logo so for the classic, I'm gonna say the Seventh Doctor's logo, and then for New Who, I'm gonna say Jodie Whittaker's.
Okay, cool. Favorite spin-off?
You know what? I actually haven't watched the spin-offs recently enough to give it a fair chance, but I do remember really liking Torchwood and really hating Class.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Class is well, the TV people obviously didn't like that either because it was a one season wonder. It's kind of weird in a way. I didn't mind it. I liked it. Oh, I didn't dislike it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you watch it because, and that's it,
Yeah.
But yeah, Torchwood is the one I wish they would bring back, but I don't think they are. I think going with completely new spin-offs, from what I hear. Right, your favorite? I see villain, monster / alien. So I mean, obviously we see like Missy and the Master, which are human-like, and then we see real aliens, and we see like Solarians who've lived on Earth. So favorite adversary, I think the Doctors.
Well, I think it kind of just depends on the story, because when you bring up the Master, that's lifelong. So of course that's going to be like, I love the Master as a adversary, but I'd say just for aesthetics and genuine fear level, I'm going to go with Cyberman.
Right. Okay. Cool. My son, who's 14, he got his first taste of the Cyberman properly last night. When he's been a fan for, I think it must be getting on for a year now, but he was watching last night the what was it? I can't remember what it was now. The Age of Steel one. Dave Tennant's first season.
Yeah.
Two-parter. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, the Age of Steel one. Right. Going back to the Master, do you prefer the Master or do you prefer Missy?
Ooh, I'm very divided on this. I really love Missy as a character, but I really love Sasha's depiction of the Master. But it's so hard because every time I see one, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Master. I love this. And then the other one comes on screen and I'm like, no, this is the Master. I love them. So I really can't pick. And then with Sim's Master, I kind of don't like him, to be completely honest.
Fair enough. Do you ever think that the Missy and the Master should be two different characters?
Well, no, I don't think so, because then you could make that same argument for the Doctor when the 13th Doctor came around. I think that everyone in their life has different stages, and I think for the Master, they just had an era where they had too much pain and they decided to try and heal, and then the next version of them, they just decided pain was the best way once again.
Okay. I like Sasha's taking the Master too, and I watched another show, and it was called Wolf. I think called Wolf.
Oh yeah, I think I watched that as well. Actually, he's like he's a criminal and he like keeps a family captive, right?
Yeah. And he's so he's so in character is very much like his master. He's so nuts, crazy nuts. It's just perfect. And I watched that and I thought, yeah, that's the same. So you've seen that. It's a good show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good show. Recommend that to anybody. Not because it's not Doctor Who related in slightest, but it is a very, very good drama.
Good. Yeah.
What about favourite guest stars? That's someone that's maybe been in it once, maybe twice.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked favorite guest star. I don't know if I even have that on my radar. Well, I'll throw it back to you. Who's your favorite guest star?
I think Wilf.
Wilf? Yeah, Wilf. Yeah, he's a favorite. He's a favorite.
I think Wilf. Wilf. I think, but the thing is, some people could say he's companion of sorts because he has been around a few times.
Yeah.
So, but I think he's not been in it enough. I don't think to be a proper companion as such, and therefore he's my favorite guest star. because he
Okay.
is quality. Or Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, that was a good one actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So either of those two. And I suppose the guy, if we go on Titanic, I can't remember his name now. He was in a sitcom that I really liked. The guy that played he was in charge of telling people or taking people down by teleport to Earth.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember his
Giving
name, but I know who you're talking about.
giving them all the wrong information
Yeah.
about Earth. Yeah, he was one of my favorites. Your favorite version of the TARDIS?
Interior or exterior?
Interior. The exterior
Interior.
quite. I know it's different, but it's similar. It's not worth looking at.
I'm gonna go Capaldi's. I really love the orange color. I think that's like a very Doctor Who color. It's the same as Smith's, but that orange just makes it feel really interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm a bit different. I like the clean cut idea of the early ones in the
Yeah.
first classic series, and therefore, again, I like what's returned. It seems to be that clean cut thing that's returned for Shooty Gatwa's reign as the Doctors. So quite like that.
I like it, but I feel like in the classic series, while they were clean, they felt smaller. And this Shooties currently feels so massive and empty that clean just it kind of fades like the rankings for me.
Yeah, I do understand your point. I mean, and they did used to look very small, and
Yeah,
they were clearly bigger on the inside, but not much bigger. It was kind of like the shock value is very different in New Who. It's always been so much bigger,
yeah.
but in the old one it wasn't so much. So the next question, and the final one in the icebreakers, jelly babies or fish fingers and custard. I mean, have you tried that?
Man, I was really lucky and I got to go over to London and Cardiff last summer. So I have tried jelly babies in their authentic form. Can't stand them. They are disgusting to me. And I've never had fish fingers and custard, but they can't be worse than jelly babies. So I'm gonna go with fish fingers and custard.
Okay.
I know that's a hot take. I can't do them. They're ugh.
No, it's fair enough. Yeah, we all like our taste. I think I probably would have pulled out of that question altogether.
Yeah.
If I didn't like jelly babies, I would never in a million years eat fish fingers and custard.
You never know. It could be good. Sweet and savory. I don't know.
No, sweet and savoury I've done before, but let's salted caramel sort of the level. Leave it there. Don't go to fish fingers and custard. That's just a level too far. It just is. You wouldn't eat sprouts covered in chocolate, would you?
Well, I'm
Really?
American, so put chocolate on anything and I'll probably give it a go.
Okay. Yes. Don't. Whatever you do, don't. Um, tell me, when did you first start watching Doctor Who?
Yeah, wow. Okay. So for me, my first ever, hey, there's this show was in seventh grade, I think. So I was like 12, 11. And it was my English teacher. He just had little Daleks on his bookshelf. And I was like, what is that? And he just started to explain it to me. And he would play trailers for the show in the class just to look at. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'll just watch it. And I just remember sitting in my bed with this like really thick 2000 early 2000s laptop blanket over my head, and I'm just binge watching everything that I can for Doctor Who. Like that is peak summer for me. I just remember it so distinctly.
Was that before the new Who came about?
So this was actually right before the 50th anniversary that
Okay.
I got into it.
Okay. So you when you were binge watching
Uh,
Chris and
yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the early David Tennant perhaps.
Mhm.
Well, you got to keep your thumbs up to that teacher then, because
Yeah.
they gave you a great thing. It's amazing. This is the biggest question now that I put to everybody that's on the show. What does Doctor Who now mean to you? I can see it means a lot. You've got your screensaver in the background on your
Yeah.
laptop,
Yeah.
and clearly you like it. So, what does it mean to you?
At this point, it means more than ever just to have hope. The when I found this show, late middle school, I don't think anybody ever had a good late middle school experience. Being a young teenager is very hard mentally, and the show was there for me, and it still is, and I still love it. And to have something that is so old technically, because it goes all the way back to the 60s, and be so new and just kind of change and adapt with me is really, really interesting and really cool. And it's definitely why I love this show. For every, hard day, I have a good episode that I can just put on and just feel a lot better. It's been following me for half my life now. I'm about to be 23. So, the show is me. It's a part of me, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's good to hear. It helps a lot. So many people. You're not alone. It's helped so many people um, with their mental health. And I'm not ashamed to say it does with myself. I'm a lot older than you. I'm twice your age. And but for me, it's been with me all my life. I caught it sort of end of third Doctor, beginning of fourth Doctor, and onwards, and then through the time when it was off air, which was horrendous at first. It was like something had been snatched from me, and I've got frustrated very recently when I've been reading articles from people saying that it won't get renewed by Disney, so they'll cut it and this and that. They won't.
Yeah.
It's stable BBC. Its ratings are far higher than it was when they in 1989 when they cut it off air. If Disney pull out, so be it. But Disney don't, even their top shows, they don't necessarily book seasons and seasons ahead. They do it in blocks. But even if Disney go, who cares? It's a BBC show in the first instance, and that's what it would return to.
Yeah.
It won't disappear. And it's frustrating to hear people say that, because
For sure.
for me, I know it won't disappear, but there's people out there that this show means a lot to, who are sitting there frightened to death, thinking it's going to go.
Mm.
And I know it's a bit silly maybe to say, or some people might think it's silly to say, don't get so upset over a TV show. But when it helps so many people's mental health, as it does, it would be an awful shame if it went. And it won't, but it won't go. And that's the thing. I think I want to say that this is your show, but I did want to say that, and I wondered how I could say that to the people that listen, because it's it's very likely that 5, 6, 7,000 people will watch this, and for every one of those, I want to let them know: don't listen to those stories. It's not like it. It's not like they're making out. They just want this clickbait, basically.
Yeah, that's a huge issue in this community, and it does annoy me too. Is like it seems that fear and hate just get so much more attention than peace and resilience.
Yeah, it does. It does in every walk of life. It's a shame when that's the case, but it is the case, and but we can rise above it. You can think, you can look and think logically about things before you start worrying too much, and don't listen to anything on social media. Crikey. Your head would blow up, wouldn't it, if you did?
I'm sorry?
Everybody's head would blow up if everybody listened to what was said on social media.
Yeah.
It'd be like dot and bubble, actually.
Yeah, it would actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it going that way, to be honest. unfortunately, but I can see it going that way where we get so obsessed with social media.
Yeah, it's like my entire life from like middle school on, everyone's always been saying like social media is going to be destructive, and it is, but it's so slow, right? And that's what makes it scary. Is it's not a quick killer. It's very much taking its time, and it's all algorithmic now. Like,
Yeah,
it's scary.
it is. It is indeed. Right, let's move back to Doctor Who. um, have you? I mean, I don't know whether you've heard this phrase, but it's a very British thing from the classic series of hiding behind the sofa or the settee or the chair. Have you heard that phrase?
Yeah, I have. They did some of those with the Blu-ray releases, right? They would have former companions and doctors talk between or whilst the show is going on. Am I right in that?
Okay, yeah, yeah, but behind the sofa, kind of is more that you were so frightened of the show that you hid as a child.
Oh, yeah, we don't say that over here. We don't say that. No.
So, but in Britain, that was the thing. Doctor Who is very famous for it, and people would say, people say that people would hide behind the sofa. A sofa being, do you understand what I mean by that? Settee, sofa, chair.
Yeah.
What do you call them over there?
I don't think we say anything. Like, I genuinely don't think we have that sort of
A big chair.
approach. Like, we just don't say that. I don't even know what would be similar to it. You're saying like
No, what I mean
it,
is the item of furniture, a sofa. Do you is that do you call it?
oh,
Do you
we call
call it
it
sofa?
sofa, couch. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those.
So when we got so frightened of Doctor Who, we would hide behind our sofa or
Right.
couch, and that became a famous saying to do with Doctor Who over here. Um, has Doctor Who ever been scary enough to make you look away slightly or cover your eyes ever?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Auton episode with the Ninth Doctor, I think it's just Rose, right?
Yes.
Um, I didn't realize it at the time, but to this day, I can't be around mannequins. Like I get intense anxiety and genuine fight or flight reaction going off. It didn't happen until after I watched that episode. So that was that was the moment for me.
No, okay, there you go. So there you go. That's what I meant. I should rephrase that when I speak to people that are not from the UK and just say, "Has Doctor Who ever frightened you?"
Yeah, yeah. I'd
Maybe
never heard that before.
discussing couches. Um, so uh, now, now, what is Doctor Who to you now? Is it a have you do you watch it with family? Do you watch it on your own? Are you a lone wolf? Do you like? I mean, I am. I live alone. I watch it just to
I've
myself.
I've never been able to watch it with my family because they don't care about it whatsoever. They've always been super supportive and they've bought me a lot of like merchandise and posters and sonic screwdrivers, you know. But as for watching, I'm very much I need to be alone. I need to be in the zone when I watch it. I was at a convention last year, Chicago TARDIS, and they aired the Star Beast there. They got permission to from Russell, and I like booked it out of there because I know I'm not gonna be able to watch it with just an audience of people. And
Yeah.
I love it and I hate that because I would love to just experience it with people, but people are annoying and loud during filming, so I'll do it at home.
Yeah. So it goes into my next question. I mean, on my I've got a pair of socks that says "Shush." I'm watching the Doctor Who, and it used to be the same with my when I lived with my ex-wife. She knew that when Doctor Who started, leave me alone. Go and do whatever you want, but just leave me alone. Don't
Oh
ask
yeah.
me to do anything. Don't ask me to pause it so you can talk to me. I'm not interested. I'm not your wife for 45 minutes. it's my time, you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, it's only the same as everybody else, to be honest. Everybody has something, and everybody needs a bit of me time anyway, don't they? But I do understand what you mean. I went to watch the most recent episode, the Empire of Death, at the cinema.
Mhm.
They were showing at cinema over here. I don't know whether they were over there.
No, sadly not.
Well, I mean, the cinemas weren't full, but that was because, I mean, when you walked into the cinema, the foyer was full of people in cosplay outfits and all sorts. But they gave up almost all screens in like multiplex cinemas, you know, with 8 screens. So there wasn't so many in each actual thing. I think they did that because when the last time they had a big event on cinema, they did do it for, is it Deep Breath?
That's the last one they had over here is Deep Breath.
But the 50th anniversary was the last big one.
Mm.
And the cinemas were full for that. So I think they were expecting the same again. So
yeah,
they spread it out. But the first thing I said to my son when I took him, I said, I hope that we're not sitting next to people that talk and rustles the play, popcorn packets and all this. Just because I'll just tell them to shut up.
Yeah,
I would. I know it probably sounds rude.
No, it's theater etiquette. Like, don't be too loud. Don't be whispering to your neighbor. Don't intentionally ruffle your M&M's wrapper. Like, I totally get it.
Yes, but when I'm on my own watching it, that's also a don't talk. But I do enjoy watching it with my son because he doesn't talk through it. He watches it. We discuss it afterwards. I've seen them all before 2 or 3 times, but he's witnessing all of this for the very first time,
nice.
like you did when you were 12 years old.
Yeah,
and it's I think it's an amazing time to know actually that you're coming into it with so much back catalogue that you haven't seen. He's got so much to look forward to. Tell me about we talked in the icebreakers about your favorite episode. Talk to me a bit more about that episode and what it was that you really liked about it.
I think it's so good. It's so rewatchable. For me, rewatchability is like the number one factor because there are a lot of episodes that I really like, but I just don't rewatch them. And then there are episodes that I really like and I do rewatch them. So for Thin Ice, it's not so emotional, right? With the last 3 episodes of Capaldi's era, I love them, but I can't rewatch them because on an emotional level, it's just too much. Like, I was doing my rewatch maybe like a couple weeks ago. I still haven't finished Capaldi's era because I just can't. But with an episode like Thin Ice, it covers a lot of what makes Doctor Who to me. It's got a little bit of silliness. It's got Bill being serious and the 12th Doctor defending Bill. It's got, an interesting monster that I don't think anybody's really thought about before, an interesting setting. But it just doesn't have, okay, but it is rewatchable. It's everything I love minus this emotional magnitude. So it's very rewatchable, and that's what matters to me.
Okay, cool. Right. Let's do a bit of a game. Now I know we discussed this beforehand, and because you've been watching it for, well, not as long as some of the people I've had on before. We know that the new Who stuff you might be okay with, the old stuff you might not be that good with, but it is only fun. It is only a laugh. Have a guess. You're not going to be laughed at. Nobody's going to tell you off. It's not a grade to pass school or anything like that. It's purely for a laugh. And this is changing. Sorry, this is. I'll tell you an episode title. You tell me what Doctor.
Okay.
That was with. The easiest one's the Eighth Doctor, by the way.
Yeah.
A choice of two. Right. We'll start off with the Claws of Axos.
Oh no. Okay. Definitely in classic. It's definitely not the Seventh Doctor, so I got that cleared away. I'm gonna say
Do you want a clue? I don't give clues, but I can with you.
no. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm gonna use my intuition, and I'm gonna say Second Doctor.
Close. Third Doctor.
No, I was gonna say the Third Doctor.
My clue was going to be you're about to watch these.
Oh,
This one shouldn't be so hard for you, and it's TV episodes, not comics or
okay.
anything. Okay, purely TV. The Star Beast.
Oh, that's the 14th Doctor.
Boom.
Just Boom, not Boomtown. Just Boom.
No.
Okay. 15.
Yeah. The Whale in Space.
Oh. Is that the Second Doctor? I feel like my friend just watched it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely it is.
Okay.
Yes. Second Doctor. The Night of the Doctor.
All of these, the blanks of the doctors are gonna kill me. I'm gonna say 11.
It's 8 actually. It's
How is it?
Yeah, there's the Night of the Doctor or the TV movie, and that's it. So
Oh, yeah.
there's not a lot. So if you ever come back on and I do this again, you'll
I'll just know.
Daleks in Manhattan.
10th Doctor.
Correct. The God Complex.
11.
Okay, good. The Mark of the Ranai. Or Rani, or Ranai.
I don't know. When I'm gonna, oh no, because I don't know when the Ronnie was introduced. I'm gonna say 6th Doctor.
Correct.
Oh, actually,
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. I think you worked that one out in your head, didn't you? You sort of like I could hear the cogs ticking. Like the clockwork people in. Yeah, you were thinking of that one, and you worked that one out. I think. The Witchfinders.
13.
Yeah. Earth Shock.
Oh no. I feel like this is so wrong, but my brain is just saying it. First Doctor. I don't know.
It's the Fifth Doctor.
See, okay, my friend loves the Fifth Doctor, but Emma's been watching every single episode in order. So everything that Emma likes versus everything that Emma's been talking to me about is just getting muddled in for Classic Who.
Ah, okay. I get that. Right, The Long Game.
9, right?
Yeah, correct. The Robots of Death.
Ooh.
This is where there's only 4 left. So now this is where you're thinking now what's been so far.
See, I think I was thinking of the War Machine, so I don't think it's who that is.
No, this is my favorite Doctor. This.
Oh no. I'm gonna say 4.
Correct. Well done. Remembrance of the Daleks.
7.
Yeah, correct. Empress of Mars.
Oh no. Empress of Mars.
Oh.
I want to say Capaldi.
Correct.
Okay.
And the last one, I don't know whether you know which one you haven't said yet. We've recently seen the guy come up again, or this adversary, the Celestial Toy Maker.
First Doctor.
Correct.
Yes.
I think that you only got about 2 of those wrong. I didn't. I should have marked them, but I think you only got about 2 wrong. Am I right?
I think I did way better than I thought I would, at the very
Way
least.
better. Way better. I don't think. To be honest, I think it'll be hard for anyone to get past your score, because we can only have 15 answers.
Yeah, that's true.
And last week's episode, I mean, that guy, I mean, he got all of them right. He was
nice.
It was seriously impressive. But not many people will do that. So I think you've done really well. For somebody that has said at the beginning or before we came on air, really, that you know, when I told you what the game would be, the classic ones can't remember. I think you've used logic. I think you used a lot of logic there. Am I right in that? Did you?
It was the Ronnie one was definitely me thinking like, well, it's got to be before 7. But I mentioned it might have been before we recorded. I went to the UK for a class, but that class was Doctor Who. Like I literally studied the history and the culture of Doctor Who, so that definitely helped, I think.
Where was that?
I go to DePaul University, and it's like a media studies class, and you study Doctor Who for 10 weeks, then you go over to the UK. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to do that course. I'd love to do that. Can you do it online from the UK?
I don't think so.
That sounds like an amazing course, that. Well, thank you so much for being on. And if ever you're coming to like a Comic-Con or anything in the UK again, let us know. And because what I'd like to do one day is have every guest that I've had on and will be having on meet together for a big, I don't know, we could do one big show,
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Everybody live, sitting around the table, talking Doctor Who.
I love that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And just meeting up anyway would be fun with loads of people. So that love Doctor Who like we do. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invitation.